Good morning, I'm Isaiah Jacob with your sports update. Once again, Ohio State will enter the college football playoff coming off a loss. Last night in a battle of the unbeatens, the Hoosiers came out on top 13-10, but Ryan Day thinks this loss could be a motivator.
You know, I think that this is going to make us more hungry. To walk off that field without a championship is going to hurt, and that's what we wanted to do. So there's a lot of guys in that locker room that are pissed off right now.
Ohio State will know where they stand in the playoff bracket today at noon when the final rankings are revealed. For the other conference championship games yesterday, Georgia rolled Alabama in the SEC title game 28-7. For the Big 12, Texas Tech won in impressive fashion against BYU 34-7. And late last night, Duke pulled off the upset against Virginia 27-20 in the ACC championship. Today in the NFL, both Ohio teams set for the 1 p.m. slate as the Browns host Tennessee while the Bengals go to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Here are your hosts, Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Welcome to On the Money. I am Dave Biddle, joined by Scotty Vegas, producer Isaiah Jacob at the controls. This is rare. We don't come to you very often after an Ohio State loss, but such was the case last night. Indiana 13, Buckeyes 10 in the Big Ten championship game. We'll find out Ohio State's draw today. I think it's pretty clear, Scotty, they're going to be the 3 seed, but we shall see. Other than last night's game, how you doing this morning?
Yeah, you know what? You and I were talking about this before the show, kind of during the commercial break, that last night sucked. It did suck. But then towards the end of the game, and once the game's over, you're thinking about it, and you're like, well, you know what? The bracket's going to come out. Ohio State still has a chance to go back-to-back national championships. Yes, there's things that absolutely need to be fixed, specifically short yardage, specifically blocking, right? You know, there's a few
minor things like that.
Maybe making pressure field goal kicks. There's some coaching decisions that were a little odd last night. A lot of that can be fixed, but this team is still the favorite to win the national championship.
Isn't that crazy? Is it still plus 240 Ohio State, plus 280 Indiana, something like that?
It's 225 Ohio State, 275 Indiana.
Yeah, somebody was asking me last night after the game, do you think there's any chance Ohio State's still the favorite? I said, I bet they are. And then we looked it up, and they were. Yeah, it was just one of those games where it was just like, is Ohio State, are they just sleepwalking here? It's just one of those where they didn't play well. I mean, certain guys played well. I feel bad for Caden Curry. Caden Curry looked like both of the Bosa brothers out there, and he's in his home state, just absolutely wrecking shop, and they can't get the win. Just such a weird game for Ohio State, man.
Yeah. And people were talking all week about, okay, could you have the potential letdown? You had the emotional road win against Michigan, and we all kind of brushed that off of oh, no, there's no way they'll have the emotional letdown. There's so much still to play for as far as, okay, you got a potential to win a conference championship, which you haven't done in a really long time. You got a chance for your quarterback. If he goes in there and they win and he plays well, he's going to be winning a Heisman Trophy in a week. And that was a big deal. And then, the thought of, okay, the 16-0 undefeated season. That all of that, very important. But we brushed off the letdown. But you played Michigan. You had that emotional win, the emotional week. It's so common in sports where you have that high that it's hard to stay up on that high. And we brushed it off, but I think it's a very fair question was there a letdown from that emotional win?
Yeah, and you look at Ohio State, I mean, their previous 2 times, it's been a while, 2019 when they went to the Big Ten championship game, Wisconsin got out and jumped them 14-0. Ohio State came back and won. And then even in 2020, the COVID year, that was a close game against Northwestern. Even the final score was just 22-10. Ohio State, they won. Trey Sermon with his record-breaking game. But that was I think that was a 3-point game going into the fourth quarter, something like that.
Yeah, it
was very close. So, this is Ohio State just, they have trouble getting this is a relatively small sample size, but the 3 times Ryan Day's been head coach, they've kind of had trouble getting up for that Big Ten championship game. All right, here we have some callers on the line. Let's hear from our callers. And if you want to call the show, it's 614-821-9710, 614-821-9710.
Yeah, throughout the hour, we will take your calls kind of talking about Ohio State going forward. Maybe you want to kind of guess at what the playoff path will be, what's the ideal path. Or maybe you want to dive into what you saw last night and you're frustrated and you want to get it out and you need a little therapy from us. We are here for you on this Sunday
Dr.
morning.
Scotty Vegas.
And let's start out by taking a call from William. William, welcome to On the Money.
The game management.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many decades I've watched football, what do you do with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half when you're up 4? You do a 2-minute drill. You don't run the ball, watch a minute go off the clock, and act like there's no urgency. Like they could have been up 11 and the ball coming into the second half. Same thing. There's just no urgency in the last series. You have to go for it on 4th down. And you don't go on 3rd, rolling your quarterback, throwing against his body to a single receiver. You do a run pass option if you're going to pass the ball, or you do 2 runs. That's all I have to say.
Good call. And another thing I don't like, when they're doing 13 personnel, you take Carnell Tate off the field to put Bennett Christian in. And this is nothing against Bennett Christian. This is against the coaches, right? Bennett Christian didn't call the play. He didn't put himself in the game. Why are you taking Carnell Tate off the field to have 3 tight ends out there?
I got to tell you, Dave, I was shocked that they kicked that field goal.
I was too.
Tried
to kick the field goal.
Yes.
I know what you mean.
But I was really surprised.
I was too. It's 4th and 1. You're down 3. So even if you kick it, you're only tied. 4th and 1. And I hate when coaches do this. 99% of the time you're going to get it on that quarterback sneak. But because it didn't work last time, we're going to be prisoners of the moment. Don't want to do it again. It's like you would have got it. Julian's not going to fall on his knee this time. And I know what happened. He didn't get one against Michigan, but he also got 2 against Michigan on that quarterback sneak. Just do the QB sneak again. I hated that field goal there. And nobody talked about it after the Michigan game, but that first field goal that Fielding made in the Michigan game was a chip shot that made it by that much. And I'm just saying, for those that aren't watching on YouTube, I'm barely holding my fingers apart. And nobody talked about it. It was like, oop. And then last year, and this was not on Jaden Fielding, but that was just... You have a kicker that's proven he can and will miss chip shots. You need to go, even if you have the best kicker in the world, you need to go for it there, in my opinion.
I was shocked. And you're generally a very aggressive team. You got you got a great team. I was shocked because here's the other thing. If you don't get it there, you still had all 3 timeouts.
Right.
So,
and they'd be way backed up. What are they going to do? No, Signetti, he might have actually. He might have aired it out there.
And by the way, you are allowed to sneak on 3rd and 1, too.
Yes,
you don't have to wait for it to be 4th and 1 before you actually sneak. And I was 100% sure at 3rd and 1 there that it was just sneak. You're going to get the ball then 1st down at the 4-yard line, and you're going to score, and you're going to win this football game.
Right. That's what I thought, too, man.
I had 100% confidence that was going to happen. What I do have a little 100% confidence in is that we're going to continue to take calls. And let's go back out to the phone lines and talk to Lloyd. Lloyd, welcome to On the Money.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, you guys. A long-time listener here. This game reminded me of the Michigan game of last year. And I'm not going to question Ryan Day. I was wrong. I thought we hit the ceiling last year, and he won a national championship. The guy's an excellent coach. But when you run a one-man route on 3rd and 1 at the 3rd and 1, Indiana had a guy, one on top and one underneath of Jeremiah Smith. So that was a bad call there on a one-man route. And then you quarterback sneak. Now, I would have ran the ball twice with Bo Jackson, or you went out and got C.J. Donaldson, so I would have ran him. That's why you went out and got him. I do question whether or not Brian Hartline, the distraction is there. I think it is. I think Ryan Day needs to let him go before the playoffs, and he takes control of the offense. That's just what I would do.
I've heard Ryan Day has been calling the plays for the most part in big games this year. And that's not something they wanted to put out there. They still probably won't put it out there because why do you want to embarrass Brian Hartline? But I've been told, and not just last night, but I was told this before last night's game, actually, that in big games this year, big moments, Ryan Day's been calling the plays.
Yeah.
All year.
Well, and if you were watching on the sidelines, too, on a couple of those big plays, Ryan Day's got the sheet in front of him, and he is going through it. So, it's obvious that this is a Ryan Day decision on the play.
Yes, and Hartline's heavily involved. It's no different than, anything else. It's even Urban, Tom Herman was the play caller, and this is one thing I've said about, Hartline taking this job. It's Herman was able to navigate it 11 years ago. He took the Houston job. Now, Buckeyes only had 2 games ahead of them at that point. because it was a 4-team playoff. They'd already played in the Big Ten championship game. That was the Wisconsin game, 59-0. So now Heartline takes the job, and they have 4 games left to play. But I hear what he's saying, like, is Heartline distracted? If Heartline was, like, the full-time play caller, I would buy into that. But, like, when it's been day all year, I don't think that was a big factor last night.
You know, it's funny because during the week, we were talking about, like, what's the thing that makes you most nervous about this Indiana game? And I was like, really, I think Ohio State's on par or better at just about every position. Now, it's close, right? There's a lot that are very, very close, including running back, I think, is very close. I think quarterback is about equal. But for me, it was the fact that Indiana has played in multiple close games this year, where they played that Iowa game, in a close game against Iowa. They played a close game against Penn State. Obviously, they needed that last drive.
Even Oregon was relatively close.
And Oregon,
they still beat them by 10 at Autzen, which was the best, well, until last night, maybe the best regular. Well, that wasn't a regular season game, but that was the best regular season win by anybody in college football, going to Oregon and beating them by 10.
Well, and they show the stat on Fox last night of how many minutes that Ohio State has been trailing in the second half. And it was like, yes, it's obvious. 0 seconds they've been trailing in the second half. So this was the first chance to see. And it was like, okay, well, that might be the one thing going into this game that made me nervous is Ohio State hasn't been tested late in games. Let's see how they react. Didn't react how we expected them to react.
They did not. And we're going to like dive deep into like their seeding, what we expect. I expect them to get the 3 seed, as do you.
There's projections out there as the 2.
I could see that, but I bet you they'll put Georgia as the 2, have Indiana, and then there is the chance, because I don't think they want an Indiana-Ohio State rematch in the semifinals. Maybe it would be in the national championship game. I think it's going to be Georgia 2, Ohio State 3. And if that holds, it's going to be Ole Miss. Ole Miss, probably Tulane.
Yeah.
The ACC is going to get shut. The ACC is going to get shut out, it looks like. Now, not for sure. Duke could be in there over the Dukes. James Madison, the Dukes. So it's down to James Madison and Duke for the final spot. I'd give it to James Madison. Yeah. I think that's hilarious that the ACC, first of all, the ACC's their tiebreakers are just awful. All right, we got to take a quick break. We're going to get more into your call, 614-821-9710, and we're going to give our outlook on Ohio State's draw, which will come out just past noon today. This is On the Money.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
The meatloaf!
The Fan.
Taking out the trash. Hey, Columbus, this is Zach Bourne. And Jacoby Bourne. When it comes to waste service, you want a team that knows how to deliver under pressure, just like Saturdays in the fall.
At Bourne Brothers Waste Services, our team is built on toughness, teamwork, and consistent execution.
We're the most reliable and customer service-focused waste company in Central Ohio.
Whether it is recycling, trash, construction waste, roll-off containers, front loads, or compactors, we have it handled.
Call now or visit BourneBrothers.com and let us tackle your waste needs.
Taking out the trash.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
'Tis the season for making memories. Give the gift of more time together at Dick's House of Sport and join us for family fun events all season long. Plus, climb a rock wall, test the multi-sport cage, and perfect your swing in a golf simulator. And shop the widest selection of the hottest brands like Nike, FP Movement, Adidas, Carhartt, UGG, and Stanley. Unforgettable moments start here at Dick's House of Sport. Visit dicks.com/House of Sport to see what's happening this season.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
When it's 6 a.m. and you need a skid steer and you want to talk to an actual person about skid steers, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and hardest working equipment experts in Columbus, we can help steer you to the right skid steer at the right price right now. Tracks or wheels, diesel or gas, light, medium, or heavy duty. plus attachments for loading, grading, digging, drilling, tilling, and trenching. No wonder the Columbus builders building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
Toyota Thona's on, and there's no better way to get in the spirit of the season than with a new Toyota, like the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through January 5th, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Camrys, or lease a new 26 Camry LE for $269 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details, or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
I love a good Hollywood casino party. Scotty Vegas here, and there are so many reasons to party on Sunday, December 7th with us. Watch the college football playoff bracket come out with us at noon. Watch the Browns, Bengals, and Steelers games all at 1 o'clock with us. Then parlay the great food, huge screens, and best big-time prizes at the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. You're watching. We're watching. Let's watch together. Sunday, December 7th at Hollywood Casino. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
You're kind of cute. Ugh, gross. Can I come over to your house one time and you not have your husband prancing around in its tighty-whities?
Well, I can't do laundry because our septic line is clogged.
Call Dormar. They do same-day plumbing repair. Dormar,
you're kind of cute.
It's really been amazing, the amount of people that I've had contact me, and the talk is generally centered around QC Kinetics, and whether it's a knee, whether it's a back, a hip, shoulder.
He's always happy to talk about how QC Kinetics all-natural regenerative treatments finally gave him relief without surgery. That's former pro football player Bobby Carpenter.
My message to them is do not wait and push off a week, a month, whatever it is. So if you want to feel better this summer, now would be the time to get in. If you want to feel better in the fall, make sure that you're getting in here so you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Spoken by a man who experienced relief firsthand. QC Kinetics gave this former pro athlete back his mobility, his activity, and they'll do the same for you.
Has really helped me in just my general quality of life.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
If you have an unhealthy obsession with the Blue Jackets, we have just the remedy. Join us Wednesday nights at 7 for the Inside Edge. All the Jackets and hockey conversation you can handle. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at cloudy skies here for today with scattered light rain and snow showers making their way through. By tomorrow, we're tracking quieter conditions but colder temperatures, partly cloudy and highs into the upper 20s. By Tuesday, still looking fairly quiet, but our next system will arrive here for Tuesday night into Wednesday. That will bring rain showers and warmer temperatures with highs in the 40s on Wednesday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. D-Biddle places over-unders on how many traffic lights he hits coming into the studio. This is On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
In just about 3 hours, we will know the college football playoff bracket. Let's find out together, shall we? We are going to do a watch party at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Join us at noon. I even brought little footballs, Dave, where we'll throw out to people. We got dining credits, mini helmets, all that good stuff. So great prizes. We'll throw out these mini footballs with teams and seeds. And if they match up, we'll hook you up with a dining credit. So that'll be a lot of fun to figure out exactly what the playoff path for Ohio State looks like and who exactly is in the playoff and who is out. I will tell you there are odds out there on who is going to make it and who's going to miss. As Notre Dame is minus 1,000 to make the playoffs, they're going to make it.
Yep.
I think you could pretty much lock them in probably as the 9 seed.
I agree. They'll play
Oklahoma
Yep.
with a chance to play Indiana in the Rose Bowl. I've been saying this all morning. Imagine an Indiana Notre Dame Rose Bowl, because that would be a lot of fun to watch. Yeah. And then the last spot is probably between Alabama and Miami, and I do have betting odds on that last spot, which would be the 10 spot. Alabama is minus 280 to be the last team in, the last at-large team in. Miami is plus 145.
I had a lot of people like last night when I said I don't agree with it necessarily. It's really a toss-up, but I said I would bet Alabama will make it over Miami. And a lot of people are like, no. Miami's going to make it. I'm like, okay, I'm not arguing with your point. They would say why. I'm like, I'm just saying what I think will happen. Yeah. Not what I think should happen. And the betting odds do back that up. Doesn't mean for sure. That's still relatively close. Like if you're Alabama, you're still sweating it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But what'd you say, minus 280?
Minus 280.
Yeah, they're getting in, don't you think?
The odds will tell you yes, but gosh, in my head, I truly believe that Miami should be the one that's in.
So they were both 10-2 going into last night, right? And Alabama was 3 spots ahead of Miami, according to the only people's opinion who matters.
Yeah.
The committee.
Yep.
Right? They were 3 spots ahead of them, not 1. And yeah, they got beat by Georgia, but they got beat by the team the committee thinks is the number 3 team in the nation in the SEC championship game. Are you going to put, and I know they lost by 21. They didn't lose by 59. Are you going to penalize Alabama and not just move them back a spot, but have a team that was 3 spots behind them who wasn't playing, even though they play in a weak ACC, jump them? I don't see it happening.
And last year, Alabama was on the outside again. So are they going to do it to them 2 years in a row? Just barely leave them out? Like, will the committee, that's got to be in the back of some of their minds. Like, are we going to leave Alabama out right on the edge 2 years in a row? Like, Alabama will go crazy.
That's a great point. That's a great point. People might say, well, that shouldn't matter. Yeah, that's not what Isaiah's saying, though. It shouldn't matter. I bet you it will. That's a great point. And let's get to some of our callers.
Yeah. But one other point real quick. Alabama looked so bad. Like it's one thing if Bama had lost that game by 3 touchdowns and was able to move the ball and stuff like that. And it was a game where there was some scoring and stuff. They looked awful. They couldn't move the ball at all. So to me, I'd put Notre Dame and I would put Miami in, and I would make Alabama sit out.
That'd be funny. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I just think if you took it as who would win if they matched up, if you're just saying, okay, if Alabama and Notre Dame played, I believe that Notre Dame would win. If Alabama and Miami played, I believe that Miami would win. So for me, I think that's how that's how the committee should look at it, and I think that Alabama should be out. However, that's not what I think will happen. What I think will happen is we're going to go back out to the phone lines, and we're going to talk to our friend Jerry from Groveport. Jerry, welcome to On the Money.
How you doing, guys?
Go Cruisers. We're doing good.
Okay, man. So here's my thought, and I got to know if I'm the only person who sees it this way. We haven't had a good kicking game since Mike Nugent. How is it that we recruit the top players at every single position on the field, and we don't value the kicking game at all? We've hit 150-yard field goal in 20 years.
I'm trying to think who the best was. Josh Houston had a good year in there, but you're right, man. I mean, there's been Pretorius was pretty good. Ruggles was good until he wasn't, but he couldn't hit him. He couldn't hit him long. He was like money from like short range. It's a good point. And like Jaden Fielding, I will say this: it wasn't like they just completely ignored like kicker recruiting. Like he was at IMG. He was a kid that was from Texas, went to IMG. He was one of the top kickers in the country, and overall has been good this year. If you look at his percentage, good.
He's good when kicks don't matter, Dave.
I mean, he did have the clutch kick. They were up by 8, so he probably gets too much credit for it in the Notre Dame game, the game clinching kick in the national championship game. Not exactly the same as if it was a tie game or if Ohio State was down 2. Yeah, but I agree with our caller, Jerry.
Yeah,
from Groveport. Yeah, go Cruisers.
All right, let's go back out to the lines and talk to Joe. Joe, welcome to On the Money.
Hey, guys. Sorry, I'm kind of venting a little bit. What I don't understand about us is we're like the bully on the block. We're the greatest team, statistically with defense. We've got all these guys that are going to the NFL, and yet we can't just put people away. I don't get it. Like Georgia did not take their foot off the throat when they were beating up on Alabama. They scored that touchdown at the end of the game. I think I'm just more venting than anything, guys. I'm not as optimistic now as you guys are about the playoffs. I think there's a little bit of a blueprint what to do to us. I just wish they would just just keep going and just roll these teams. Sorry to be a downer, guys. Just a little frustrated today.
No, that's what we're here for. It's a good call. Like we want you guys to vent. We're kind of venting ourselves. And maybe it's because of what happened last year, how they're able to dust themselves off, and that was way worse than this year. Way worse. At least they went up to Ann Arbor and stomped Michigan. Yeah, I hear you, but like Indiana's the number one team, and Ohio State lost to them by 3 points. Like if they played again, I would actually be. I wouldn't overlook the game by any means. Indiana's really, really, really good, and they're very well coached. I have a ton of respect for them. But if Ohio State played them again, and it would probably be in the national championship game, I'd feel pretty good about it, and I bet you Ohio State would be favored.
Let's talk about teams that we think can win it all, Dave, because we're kind of at this point now where we thought – I heard you on the tailgate show yesterday. You said if it was Ohio State or the field, you would take Ohio State. That was before the game last night. I'm curious if that's still the case. And then if you want to give me 2 or 3 teams that are most likely to win it all, would you put Indiana as the second most likely team to win it all at this point?
Yes, and I would not. Now I would take the field just because I think the odds would be in my favor over Ohio State. But I still think, I see why Ohio State's the betting favor. I still think they're the best team. And I know what happened yesterday, but maybe that'll get these guys motivated, and maybe we'll see Rose Bowl Ryan Day against Oregon just come out there like, all right. You think we can? You think this is what we are? All right, that was an aberration. I'm going to show you. Hopefully that's what Buckeye fans get to see from Ryan Day. So I would take the field, but I still think Ohio State's the best team. So if you maybe take one team, I would definitely take Ohio State. Yes, I think Indiana's the second best team, maybe the best team, and I think Georgia's the third best team. I'll be surprised. Well, and I've been a Texas Tech believer. I still don't think they're going to win the national. I think it's a 3-team race in my opinion. Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia. I'll be surprised if anybody other than those 3 win. What about you?
I would probably put Indiana and Georgia together as about the same amount of odds as far as winning the national championship. And then I would probably have a little bit of a drop off. And then I could, watching that Texas Tech team, that defensive line is enormous, and they have a really tough defense.
They spent their money well. There was all this talk about, they bought they did good.
I'll call this right now. If Notre Dame plays Oklahoma, I think they'll win that one easily, even though that game would likely be at Oklahoma. And then that Rose Bowl game, I'll call it right now, I think Notre Dame wins the Rose Bowl over Indiana. I really do. And I have a lot of respect for Indiana. Like what they did last night, impressive, right? Mendoza deserves the Heisman Trophy. I still think Notre Dame's got the run in them. And I think this bracket is going to be very interesting. If Ohio State does end up in the 3 and gets Ole Miss, Tulane, I think it's a layup. I really do.
Are there betting odds about what Ohio State's seed will be? Like, are they like? Is it like odds on they'll be the 3 seed, but they could be the 2, or is the 2 seed the odds on favorite?
I'll tell you, I've looked at about 4 or 5 different projections, and 3 of them have OSU as the 2, and 2 have them as the 3. And I think there's a couple reasons why. One is if Ohio State is the 2 seed, then they're most likely playing the winner of Texas A&M and Alabama. But if you had Georgia as a 2 seed, you would have such a SEC heavy 2, 7, 10. That little area there would be all SEC. So you'd be seeing some rematches. Does anybody want to see a rematch of Alabama, Georgia again for a third time?
So the Ohio State's probably going to play. You'd have to think, either team could win, but I bet Alabama will win. So it could be Ohio State, Alabama in the quarterfinals in Miami. Now, if you're Ohio State...
No, Miami is the national championship site.
But they also have the Orange Bowl, though, don't they? Because I had a reporter on yesterday that said there's a chance Ohio State could play in... Yeah, please check this to make sure I'm right, Isaiah. Thank you. I had somebody say there's a chance Ohio State could play.
You are right, yep.
Yeah, could play twice in Miami. And not just play twice, that would be they'd play once in Miami and then play once at another site and then back to Miami.
The projections I'm looking at on CBS have obviously Indiana connected to the Rose Bowl. They have Ohio State as the 2 seed, playing the 7-10 winner, connected to the Cotton Bowl. So that's how this projection has it, as does ESPN. They have Ohio State as the 2 seed with the Cotton Bowl connection as well. So Kind of interesting. All right, when we come back, more of your calls, and we're going to dive into more of those betting odds as far as national championship odds, the Heisman odds. Those were a wild roller coaster last night. You are listening to On the Money.
'Tis the season to not feel groggy. I know that's not how the song goes, but it's how the rush of the holidays can make us feel. Eric Reeser here and my friends at Hydrate Me Med Spa have the goods to keep you looking and feeling your best as the year comes to an end. 4 convenient locations in Central Ohio offering medical-grade IV and aesthetic treatments. If you're like me and get a little queasy at the thought of an IV, not a big needle person, I get it. But their staff of incredible certified nurse practitioners makes the process easy. Get your body ready for a successful holiday season by booking your drip today at hydratememedspa.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. This December, Window Nation puts an end to your window problems. You'll save big, too, with 50% off all window styles. Plus, you could get 0% interest for 5 years. Hurry, this sale ends soon, so schedule your free estimate right now. WindowNation.com.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan. Scotty Vegas places so many bets, he can't even remember which teams he's rooting for. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Welcome back to the show. Dave Biddle, Scotty Vegas, Isaiah Jacob. Let's head back to the phone lines and hear from Flip. Welcome to the show, Flip.
Disappointed in Jermaine Matthews. Hey, fellas, I'm disappointed in Jermaine Matthews Jr. and his poor cover skills, lack of playing the ball. Same as Lorenzo Styles Jr. not playing the ball. Becker was tearing them up last night, and I just am trying to figure out if Tim Walton's going to coach them up and tell them to, actually play the ball and not get so many PIs. Disappointed in Jaden Fielding in his poor execution, lack of being able to make chip shot field goals in the dome stadiums. And I just want to really understand if Julian is going to utilize his athleticism and become an athlete when the play breaks down and maybe go pick up 5 to 7 to 10 yards rather than just chunking it out of bounds when it's open grass. I just really want to see him become more of an athlete. He reminds me of a Troy Smith in a way, but he just doesn't take off like I think he can, and he needs to develop that skill.
Yeah, and he did it at one time against Michigan. He's done it a couple times this year, but you're right. I mean, you need to, if you do that just once a game as a quarterback, like a Julian's saying, obviously if you're a running quarterback, you want to do it more than once, but if you can on third down pick up a first down with your legs when it looks like your punt team's about to come on the field, that's a backbreaker for a defense, and he did it once against Michigan on that long drive, picked up a first down on a third down. Yeah, that was. I do think Julian does a good job, Scotty, in the pocket of moving around. Now, obviously, last night was not a good game for him. And as for his comments about the defensive backs, I agree. I'm a huge Jermaine Matthews Jr. guy. I think he's really, really good. He's going to play in the NFL for a long time. Not a good game for him. And here's another thing that's disappointing for Ohio State. Omar Cooper Jr. is knocked out of that game.
Yeah.
So all this talk about Indiana's got a really good duo at wide receiver, and they do. They lost half of that, and Ohio State still. Now, was this on the defense? No, they gave up 13 points. This is mostly on the offense. Let's be clear about that. But still, I agree. I mean, some of those DBs, Lorenzo Styles Jr. was coming off a great game against Michigan. I think his best game. Tremaine Matthews, again, I think he's a really good corner. Had a rough game last night, though. There's no doubt about it.
Well, and you're talking about Julian Sand and the ability to pick up some yards on the ground. That was big for Fernando Mendoza, and that's a difference in his game. He's obviously a great throwing quarterback, but he does have the ability to pick up some yards on the ground. Did it a couple times against the Buckeyes. Had a few rushing touchdowns this year as well. Back out to the phone lines. Let's talk to Jeremy. Jeremy, welcome to On the Money.
Hey, good morning, guys. I just had a couple of things. One on the college playoff seeding thing. I believe they should probably just, if they want to extend it, just go with 14 teams, give 1 and 2 a bye, let the rest fall how they want. And then the play calling up for Ryan Day last night, feel like on the first 4th down, he should have kicked the field goal. Second time, he should have went for it. I'll just hang up and listen to your guys' thoughts.
I agree completely. 100%.
I was okay going for it on 4th down the first time, and then I wanted them to go for it. I was 100% sure that they are not kicking a field goal. They're going for this on 4th and 1 with 2.5 to go. All 3 timeouts. If you don't get it, you're probably you feel like your defense is going to get the stop anyway and get field position again. That shocked me that they did not go for that.
Even if you said ahead of time, I can tell you 100% you're going to tie the game here. I still think it would have been a bad idea.
Right.
And you might think, well, it's a chip shot field goal. Okay. He barely made a chip shot field goal last week against Michigan. He missed 2 last year. So it was by far nowhere near 100%. Was it probably 80% or 85%? Yes. But even then, it just ties the game. I hated that.
Shocked me.
And why not be aggressive, too? Like, it's the Big Ten championship game. This isn't the quarterfinal. Like, the season doesn't end on this.
Right.
Why wouldn't we just be aggressive, take the game? If we lose because we don't get 1 yard, we lose because we don't get 1 yard. But it doesn't even end the season. I don't understand that.
That's great. That's a great point.
And you pick up that yard. There was just over 2 minutes to go in the game. So you pick up the yard. You keep that clock running. It's down to the 2-minute warning. And then you have 2 minutes to punch it in from about 4 yards out. Right.
And if disaster would be a turnover after that. You get the first down, somehow you get a holding call, then you milk the clock, and then you kick the field goal.
Yeah.
Now you might miss it, but kicking the field goal there was just weak. And listen, I more than believe in Ryan Day. That doesn't mean he was perfect. He didn't coach a good game. He'd probably be the first one to admit that last night.
Do you think
overall, I completely believe in Ryan Day, though.
Do you think there was a distraction, Dave, from the Brian Hartline news during the week? Did that come into play? Obviously, everybody knows now Brian Hartline heading to South Florida. That came out on Wednesday. It was a little bit of a surprise.
It was. It happened fast.
And so did that kind of come into the game preparations for the week at all in your mind?
It's interesting because I'll have to say I don't think it mattered that much because I don't want to contradict myself because I've been saying, listen, Coach Day's been calling the majority of the plays all year, right? It wasn't like now that Hartline's leaving, I'm going to call the plays. No, that nothing really changed as far as that. So, I'm sure it was a minor distraction. I don't think it was anything major because he had interviewed for other jobs. The USF thing kind of came out of nowhere. Their coach left for Auburn, and then bam, that happened really fast. But he had interviewed for the Penn State job. He had interviewed for another job. So Ryan Day knew he was interviewing for jobs. It wasn't like that was a surprise, but I'm sure it was somewhat of a distraction that it played into it. I just think it was that was a minor factor. We'll never know.
Yep. All right, back out to the lines, and let's talk to Alex. Alex, you're on the money.
Thank you for taking my call, guys. Thank you, Scotty, for taking the wind out of my sail because I was just about to bring that up about Hartline. Everything is right. I feel bad for fielding. Lorenzo Styles had a bad game. Play calling was bad. The offensive line gave up 5 sacks. You got to protect your quarterback better than that. But I really do feel like we had an emotional win against Michigan. We had the news about Hartline leaving. And then also you had everything going on with Chris Henry Jr. and recruiting and potentially losing him, where potentially Ryan Day was talking to the kid when he should have been focusing on the game. These are all minor distractions, but if you take them and put them together, I do feel like it impacted us and cost us the game overall. But I have all the confidence in the world that with all that now done and dusted and put to the side, we can now focus on what we need to, and that's going to be the college football playoff. And the other thing I wanted to add was that because of all that stuff going on, and there's been noise about everybody wanting to change the schedule when it comes to recruiting and transfer portal and when coaches can accept new jobs. Now that it's happening to us at Ohio State, I 100% see the NCAA getting more pressure to make changes moving forward. Thank you for your time.
Alex, that was a home run call.
That was
like
slam.
a grand slam. That was a touchdown. That was a Hail Mary that was completed in the end zone.
Holy Buckeye.
Yeah, that was a great call. I will speak also quickly to the calendar situation because it is a complete mess in college football. And I heard Skip Mossick. I'm so glad he asked this. He asked Ross Bjork this last night during halftime about, is there going to be an adjustment to this? Because it is so distracting when your week where you're trying to play for a Big Ten championship, you got signing day and the circus that is of players, that you have to deal with all week with that. And this year was an especially crazy circus where you had a player that his mom apparently wants him to go to a different school. The craziness of the week.
You're right.
And then you add in Brian Hartline taking a head coaching job. It was an insane week. So I did like Skip asked Ross Bjork this and President Carter, and they did say that is like number one on their focus is figuring out this calendar because it is a disgrace right now.
I can feel my blood starting to boil because for years, even back when I worked for something called a newspaper, did you know those used to exist? What? Yes, way back in the day. I remember writing columns way back in the day in the very early aughts. So this would have been like 2000, 2001, 2002, around there writing columns. There needs to be an early signing period in college football. I wrote that for like 10 years. Then they finally put in an early signing period, and I always said it needs to be like in late July. Right before camp opens, have the early signing period. Then they put an early signing period in, and they did it in late December. A month and a half, not even a month and a half, a little bit more than a month of the traditional signing day in January or February. I'm like, what are they doing? And then they're like, okay, we're not going to do it in late December. We're going to move it. We're going to move it up. And I'm like, fine, they're going to put it in July. They put it in earlier December, the week of conference championship games. Whoever is making those decisions should not be allowed to make decisions about anything.
No,
it's mindless. And they even thought, okay, let's move it up. We can't have it the last week of December. Let's move it up. And they do it the first week of December. It makes no sense. And it sounds like we're making excuses. It's real. Maybe the same Indiana had to deal with it as well. But it's a good point. When you add everything up, Hartline leaving, or at least, he stayed with the team, but that announcement, you add in, Ryan Day definitely was taking time out of his schedule to make sure they got Chris Henry Jr., Legend Bay. I mean, it's a good point. You add all of that up, that's definitely a distraction.
It's a lot of distractions.
Yes, it's
is. Not just one. It was
right.
Huge distractions all week long. Again, no excuse for not picking up 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. No excuse for missing chip shot field goals. No excuse for the very conservative play calling at the end of the first half, which was very frustrating, and then starting out the second half, that middle eight that they really stress, that end of first half, start of second half. That's a big point of emphasis with this team. They struck out with that yesterday. That was the reason, but this was also a distracted football team. Who isn't distracted? It's Jack. Jack, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Not a good day, but, we got to look on the bright side of things. We're still in the playoffs. We control our own destiny. I would not want to have to face this Ohio State team, especially after yesterday. But also, I want to point out, it's not one player's fault. It's not the kicker. It's not the defensive back. We didn't execute. Indiana played a much better game than us. They were more physical than I thought they would be. But anyways, I love my Buckeyes, but also, how is Alabama even being considered for the playoffs? Did anybody watch that game? They got boat race, guys.
I know.
That was nasty.
I know. I still think they're going to get in. Do I think they should? Probably not, but I think they will.
If they weren't Alabama,
right,
that team would definitely not get in.
If they were Arkansas, like
week
that same,
1.
Oh, I know, to Florida State. And people act like that was like a preseason game, like it didn't count. Like that counted. We can't say every game matters in college football. It's what makes it special. And then act like week 1 doesn't count.
It really should be Miami and Notre Dame and Alabama out. It really should be. I don't think that's what it'll be. I think it'll be Notre Dame 9 and Alabama 10 and Miami out. But that ACC with Duke not making it, Duke winning that conference championship game last night, I think they're getting shut out.
So Duke helped the Dukes because James Madison's now going to get in. And I completely agree with Isaiah. I didn't even think about this as a factor. And again, it shouldn't be a factor, but Alabama was the first team out last year.
Too bad.
Are they going to be the first team out again? When they entered last night, I keep stressing this. I think we have to focus on this. The committee believed Alabama was 3 spots better than Miami going into last night. Now, are they really going to drop Alabama? And they said that we're not going to punish teams that have to play an extra game. So they were both 10-2 going into last night. Alabama was ranked 3 spots higher than Miami. I just don't see the committee dropping them past Miami.
If they watched the game, if they watched how awful Alabama was, and then they look at Alabama's schedule and see, oh, they lost to Florida State by 2 touchdowns. Oh, they lost to Oklahoma. They have 3 losses.
I agree with all of that, but they said themselves they're 3 spots better, and we're not going to penalize teams that have to play a conference championship game. Yeah. When Miami was able to sit home, didn't even make the championship game of their terrible conference.
I'm looking at the schedule for Alabama, and really, they've got 2 wins. They did win at Georgia. Great.
Pretty good win.
Yeah. And then they won against Vanderbilt. So they have 2 wins, but they have 3 losses, including an embarrassing one yesterday and an embarrassing one to start the year. They should be out.
They should be. All right, we're going to take more of your calls next. We got to take a break. The number is 614-821-9710, and this is On the Money.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
When you need a mini excavator or a not so mini excavator, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and hardest working equipment experts in Columbus, we can help you take a big step toward a mini excavator in one of 17 different sizes, from 2,000 to 18,000 pound machines with 6 to 24 feet of reach and 5 to 15 feet digging depth. Though in the most rental locations, and it's no wonder the Columbus builders who are building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
Ugh, gross. Can I come over to your house one time and you not have your husband prancing around in its tidy whities?
Well, I can't do laundry because our septic line is clogged.
Call Dormar. They do same-day plumbing repair. Dormar, you're kind of cute.
Timmy Hall and real common man here for our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
We've got plenty of holiday specials for you this month. You can enjoy a 4-course wine dinner at the lounge at Final Cut. Plus, there's holiday takeout specials.
And we got happenings on New Year's Eve.
What's happening?
Winning. You could win a 2026 Chevy Traverse, $35,000 in cash, or $50,000 in Penn slot play.
Become a member of our rewards program on the Penn Play app and get a $20 dining credit.
It's all going down this month at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
My son Ian was diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 16 months. The outlook was pretty rough. I mean, it was, we had no hope until St. Jude rescued us. I mean, they saved him. To this date, we are 12 years into this journey, and from day one, we've never once seen a bill. It gave us the peace of mind to know that we're there with our son, and we're gonna beat cancer together. Now, he is doing really, really well. He's alive because of what St. Jude has done. He's here because of the doctors who came before, their blood, their sweat, their tears, the knowledge accumulated and shared, with everyone else around the world. This is how we get rid of this, how we help kids beat cancer all over. It's the future.
Together, we will make cures possible for every child everywhere. Learn more at stjude.org.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
When it comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live for the better of myself, my family. My weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Sunday, a day of rest, relaxation, and Browns football. Catch the Brownies as they battle the Titans live from the land. This game will not live in infamy.
Kickoff comes your way Sunday at 1.
Your radio home of the Browns, the Fan, Ohio sports destination. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. And now back to a show featuring two dudes who have been kicked out of their homes by angry wives. This pretty much sums up every show we have here on The Fan. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
So your updated national championship odds: Ohio State still the favorite, plus 220. Indiana 3-1. Georgia plus 650. Notre Dame plus 850. In just over 2 hours, it is the bracket reveal show. That's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll find out exactly what Ohio State's path will be. Probably 2 seed, maybe 3 seed, somewhere in there. But you can find out with us at Hollywood Casino Columbus. We're going to hang out at the sportsbook. We're going to do prizes. We're going to do games. And we're going to see that route to back for Ohio State. Back out to the phone lines now, and we're going to talk to Terry. Terry, welcome to On the Money.
Hey, good morning. Hey, just a few things. First of all, I'm 64, so I'm getting up there. I've seen a lot of Ohio State football. And going all the way back to the 1980 Rose Bowl, when we didn't kick a field goal there at the end of the first half, I have always said, tie that game. Get a lead. We lost by 3 points in that Rose Bowl. And I had this saying I've always had, get a lead, it's harder to lose when you're ahead. And in football, it's, get a tie, it's harder to lose. When you're at least tied, you get to go to overtime. And I just couldn't believe how some just basic rules in football, which is, get that tie, and then, you at least can play on. And I get the idea of going for the tie at the end when we missed the field goal, but that prior one, when you're going for fourth down and you don't put keen holds in, just some of the decision-making, I guess, was kind of underwhelming in the fact that I think we didn't play some smart football. I guess that's what I was getting at. So, anyways, and one last thing, we have never played Ole Miss, and I kind of hope we get to third, and because second and third's the same difference as far as who you play in the semifinals. But I would really love to play the winner of Ole Miss Tulane rather than.
Me too.
Yeah, so anyways, that's all I have. Great show, guys.
Thanks, Terry.
Yeah, and I agree with you, man. I want that 3 seed. I thought it was like fait accompli. They were going to get the 3 seed. Then Sky's like, actually, there's a really good chance they're going to get the 2. But yeah, great call, Terry. And let's hear. Go ahead.
So as far as the 2 and the 3, I would love Ole Miss.
Yes.
Like that. Terry's right. Like an OSU Ole Miss game would be awesome. The 2 seed would potentially be A&M, which, that wouldn't be bad either. I'm not afraid of either one of those.
Georgia, wait a minute, 2 seed.
I'm sorry. So if you're the 2 seed, you would play the 7-10 winner.
Oh, gotcha.
So you're either playing A&M, probably Alabama.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be terrified either way of the quarterfinal game. Like I feel like if you're the 2 or the 3, pretty confident either way. All right, one more call this hour. Let's talk to Bill. Bill, you're on the money.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to bring up a couple of points that as I thought about this last night and this morning, I hear and I even thought about this after the game, some of the distractions and the issues and the things that were coming up, during the week in preparation for this game, maybe having an effect. But, truthfully, most of the issues that got exposed, the writing's been on the wall a little bit with some of those things throughout history, and this year. The red zone issues really aren't new if you think about it. There's been trouble inside that 10, and in conjunction with that, there's similar problems on, short down, third and shorts and things like that. And, when you're playing teams like this, those things get exposed. So I hear the distractions, but I just have a hard time at this point buying that is 100% to blame when some of those things have been happening all year long.
Yeah, and you're right. And it's not just this year. That's a great call because you're right. That's been an issue for the last few years. Short yardage, red zone. Those things go hand in hand. I mean, it really has been. And they're explosive. They always are explosive. But the times with Ohio State, it feels like I have a better chance of scoring if they throw the ball from the 20 than if they're trying to run the ball inside the 5. It's just it's a great call because it's nothing new. Well, it wasn't like it just reared its head like last night. It hasn't done. They've been better at it overall this year, but we thought coming into the year, Scotty, it was a tough schedule. I mean, looking at it now, they didn't really play that tough of a schedule.
I had a former Buckeye constantly texting me last night that this feels like last year OSU Michigan. He kept saying that, and he was alluding to the fact that the short yardage issues, getting beat badly up front, and the struggles with the field goal kicking, and then some of the conservative play calls. Unfortunately, you're right. A lot of the things that we've seen previous years came back to haunt us last night.
Yeah. All right, your best guess, 2 seed or 3 seed? We're not ending the show now. We have another hour. We're going to talk more about that.
The 3. I think 3. I think Georgia deserves a 2 as the SEC champ.
I agree. I think it's going to be the 3 seed. We're going to talk much more about that. The first hour of the show is in the books. Stick around for the second hour. We appreciate you guys. This is On the Money.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-345-2789. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-345-2789 or biglou.com.
Here, care is where you need it. With over 350 primary care providers in Central Ohio, expert care is minutes away. See how we care for all of you at mountcarmelforyou.com. Here, heart care helps you heal faster. Advanced, minimally invasive procedures mean less time recovering and more living life. See how we care for all of you at mountcarmelforyou.com.
When you're building a single-family house, multi-unit house, townhouse, penthouse, row house, or tiny house, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. The Columbus builders who are building Columbus do. They know they can rent the right equipment at the right price right now. thanks to the largest rental fleet and most rental locations in Columbus. All powered by people for equipment know-how, support, transport, and training. So no matter what you've got going in or going up, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
From moving compliance targets to shifting regulations, the pressure to stabilize is growing. At Plant Moran, we help you meet complexity with confidence. We cut through the noise and give you the tools to act, ground your planning in insights, and tailored tax strategies from senior specialists so the next step you take is on solid footing. Don't chase stability, lead with it. Plant Moran. Stability, period.
Shop Meijer and bring more special savings to the holiday season with a savory Meijer Spiral Sliced Half Ham for just 79 cents per pound with M-Perks. Limit 1 per customer, no clipping necessary. And spend $100 or more in-store December 3rd through the 9th and receive a $10 coupon at checkout. Redeem December 10th through the 16th on gifts, groceries, holiday decor. It's up to you. Make the holidays a good deal better at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Isaiah Jacob with your sports update. Once again, Ohio State will enter the college football playoff coming off a loss. Last night in a battle of the unbeatens, the Hoosiers came out on top 13-10. The story of the game for Ryan Day? How about scoring in the red zone?
Well, just finishing off the drives was huge, and really the story of the game. When you get into the red zone and you don't finish, this is how you lose games.
Ohio State will know where they stand in the playoff bracket today at noon when the final rankings are revealed. For the other conference championship games yesterday, Georgia rolled Alabama in the SEC title game 28-7. For the Big 12, Texas Tech won in impressive fashion against BYU 34-7. And late last night, Duke pulled off the upset against Virginia 27-20 in the ACC championship. Today in the NFL, both Ohio teams set for the 1 p.m. slate as the Browns host Tennessee while the Bengals go to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Sports gambling, fantasy football, and tailgating before a massive day of pigskin. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Welcome back to On the Money, 97.1 The Fan. I am Dave Biddle. I'm joined by my good friend Scott Prokop. We like to call him Scotty Vegas. Producer Isaiah Jacob at the controls. And we're going to head back to the phone lines and hear from Blake. Welcome to the show, Blake.
Good morning, guys. Had a few things. First thing I wanted to say is I just think that with the troubles we've had in the red zone over the last couple of years, it's malpractice that we don't have at least an award-winning kicker. Go out and get someone who can get us points and not have to worry about it. I fully believe Ryan Day doesn't trust Jaden Fielding. I think he has to just put him in those obvious moments, in those big games to just see if he makes it. And then two, our defense played great. Our defensive line played great, but our DBs got cooked, okay? They looked for Becker, and they looked for whatever DB was on them, and they went for him. And the confidence of IU to do that is astounding, and we need to get back to the drawing board and fix those looks. Are we going to make Caleb be a linebacker, be a free rusher, or is he going to play safety for us? So that's all I got, boys.
Yeah, and regarding the kicker, it's interesting. I probably should have brought this up earlier. They went out and got a kicker in the portal this offseason. Jackson Corville, young man from Centerville, same high school as Mike Nugent and many others, Kirk Herbstreit, A.J. Hawk, on and on. And he was a really good kicker, Scotty, at Ball State. And they brought him here, and I was thinking, okay, I see. And he was, the thing was, if they were able to redshirt him, which they did, now he's got 2 years left. But I was thinking there was a really good chance that Jackson Corville was going to beat out Jaden Fielding in camp. Fielding won the job. And again, until last night, Fielding had a really good year, until he didn't. I know it was one kick, but it's not like they ignored it. They went out and got a kicker in the portal, and Fielding beat him out in camp.
Yeah, here's the problem going forward too, Dave, is there's going to be no confidence as far as like that he can make a big kick going forward. And at some point during this potential back-to-back national championship run, during this playoff run, there will be a time where you need to trust your kicker. And like all of Buckeye Nation, I don't care whether it's a 30-yard field goal or a 45-yard field goal, we're going to be nervous. Like, absolutely nervous anytime that you line up for a field goal that matters. And unfortunately, it is frustrating. That absolutely is frustrating. And the other thing is, I'm going to be nervous on every short yardage situation.
No doubt.
Like, that was just absolutely pathetic yesterday. And I get the call about the DBs struggling and all that stuff yesterday. The issue wasn't the defense. The issue was the offense. It was that middle 8 not getting that done. There's so many little things in that game yesterday that could have gone the other way. Like, I do feel like that deep ball to Jeremiah Smith was a little underthrown, and I think that he was just tripped up. It looked like he was going to cut to the middle of the field and maybe find a way to the end zone. You don't score a touchdown on that. You end up with a field goal on that drive. There were 3 or 4 times where I thought, oh my gosh, Bo Jackson, he is going to break loose. And just one little trip up ended that momentum. So, yeah, there's just so many little things. Like, the confidence that they can win it all is still pretty high for both you and I on this OSU football team. But, just a couple little things yesterday that they break the other way. It's a different game.
3 wins away from the national championship. It kind of feels weird because we're prisoners of the moment. It's like, oh, geez. It feels like they have a 4-game run. It's like they have 3.5 weeks off. They're going to get a bye, and then they're 3 wins away from the national championship. And it is going to be funny if they go to Miami, then go somewhere else, like let's say the Fiesta Bowl for the quarter or for the semifinal. I have to look up where the semifinals are, and then back to Miami for the national championship game against perhaps Indiana.
Okay, so let's talk about this potential bracket here.
Yeah.
So here's the things we know. We know that Indiana is going to be the 1 seed. The question mark is Ohio State, Georgia, 2-3. We feel like Texas Tech is probably locked in as the 4 seed.
Yep.
Oregon is almost a lock for 5. Ole Miss 6. Texas A&M 7, Oklahoma 8. That's just based on the rankings, and the teams didn't play yesterday. So you would think that that's all locked up. 2-3 is the question. Ohio State, Georgia, what order does that go? But 1 through 8, that's how it's going to break out. And then it gets a little bit question mark as far as 9 and 10, because you could see Notre Dame most likely 9, and then the battle is probably 10 between Alabama and Miami. Most people think, and the odds will tell you, that it'll be Alabama. And then the 11 seed will be Tulane, and then the 12 seed, almost a lock, will be James Madison.
That's hilarious. We're going to have 2 group of 5 teams, and it's not like one of those, like, we've had group of 5 teams many times where they're undefeated. Boise State. There's been other ones. There was, when PJ Fleck was at Western Michigan, they had a 13-0 season. This year, Western Michigan won the MAC with a 9-4 record. So you have 2 group of 5 teams that aren't even really, they're good, but it's not like they're like undefeated group of 5 teams. Now, James Madison only has 1 loss. Tulane has 2. And the ACC is going to get shut out. Remember when the ACC and the Big 10 or Big 12 were like, we don't want to have this deal where we only get 2 like automatic bursts. I'm like, you should take that deal. You should take this.
Yeah.
Big 12 too. Big 12's getting 1. ACC is getting 0. They should take that deal. And I know they don't want to act like, well, we don't want to admit that we're like playing second fiddle to the SEC and Big 10. Well, you are, and everybody knows you are. So how about just take those 2 automatic bids, which last time I checked is better than 0.
So I want to go through this bracket a little bit. Of course, the bracket officially comes out at noon, and you got an opportunity to watch a really cool digital special called Chasing the Championship. That is going to be on 10 Plus and on the Fans YouTube channel. It is noon to 1, and it's got a lot of stars on it. It's got Dom Taberi, Nicole Sheeran from 10 TV. It's got Tim Hall, and of course, former Buckeye Dane Sanzenbacher. Sanzenbacher, that digital special, Chasing the Championship, noon to 1, 10 Plus in the Fans YouTube channel. That'll be really cool. We feel like we know, for the most part, how this bracket's going to play out. I want to get from you, kind of both you and Isaiah, really, teams that you think have a chance to make a run in this bracket, because to me, I've been talking about this team for a long time. The question was, are they going to get in? We now do know that Notre Dame's going to get in. I think right now, I'm going to call this right now, this Sunday morning, assuming they're the 9 seed, I think they are going to beat Oklahoma the 8 on the road, and then I think they're actually going to beat Indiana in the Rose Bowl game.
Interesting. I think Indiana would beat Notre Dame, but it would be a good game. And then we could be headed for the Bobby Knight special. Could have Indiana against Texas Tech in the semifinals.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Texas Tech is surprisingly good to me.
Yes.
I had not watched a lot of Texas Tech, and I don't I'm not saying that BYU is very good, but what I do see is a monster defensive line. You said it. They paid up for a really, really great defense. They have a stud linebacker. This is a Texas Tech team that I think is really good. And I think Oregon, by the way, as the 5 seed is very dangerous. So I actually think if OSU can be on the other side of the bracket from Texas Tech, from Oregon, from Indiana, and from Notre Dame, I think it sets up really well for Ohio State.
And Oregon has a pseudo bye in the first round. They get to host James Madison.
Yeah, that's crazy. Why didn't we put together a parlay, a bracket parlay at the beginning of the year, and we would have put in, of course, we would have put in James Madison and Tulane.
I did. I don't know about you.
Yeah. What were those odds before the year? If you could parlay
both of them making it,
yeah, you'd be a millionaire, right?
Oh, for sure. That'd have to be like $1 million to 1, don't you think?
It'd have to be.
You could bet on $1 and maybe be a millionaire.
Yeah,
I bet. I mean, both those teams making the playoff, that had to be astronomical. It wasn't even available to bet on, I'm sure, but. Yeah, Isaiah, what's your take?
See, I'm kind of upset that I think Oregon and Texas Tech are on this kind of path where they're probably going to run into each other here in the second round, because I actually like both of those teams and think they both, like, with the right matchups, could try to make a run towards the college football playoff. And so I am upset that they're going to eventually crash course here in the 5-4 seed. I think that Texas Tech is a lot of fun. Watching them yesterday just dismantle BYU for a second time, I thought that game could have been closer just because BYU got smashed the first time. You come back, you try to figure it out, but it feels like in those second time around, when you play those teams, same thing we saw with Georgia yesterday, sometimes you just get railroaded. It's either it's going to be a blowout on one side or the other. And so that's why I think coming back into the playoff here, Ohio State sitting in that 2-3 spot. It could be huge if we can match up with Ole Miss. Yeah, that's where I want to be. I want to be against Ole Miss.
Yeah, just look at Oregon and Ohio State last year. They went in that Rose Bowl, and Ohio State just smoked them. They had the revenge factor. They got knocked down against Michigan, but they got back up and they beat Tennessee. They went into that Rose Bowl like, screw it, we're going to just play our game. And look what happened. Yeah, you get that rematch. It could be bad news. That would be a cool quarterfinal. Texas Tech against Oregon, and it's really interesting. You look at Texas Tech. Their one loss was at Arizona State, so not a bad loss. Then you think their one loss was at Arizona State, and their quarterback wasn't playing. Texas Tech's quarterback was out. That's their only loss. So if you're Texas Tech, you're probably thinking, how come we're not the 3 seed?
Yep. So here were your preseason conference championship odds. So Duke, who is your ACC champ, was 35-1 preseason. Texas Tech, who is your Big 12 champion, was plus 550. Indiana was 35-1 to win the Big 10 preseason. The SEC, Georgia was plus 320. Now I'll go to some of the group of 5 smaller conferences. The MAC champion was Western Michigan. They were a little bit of a long shot. They were 14-1 to win the MAC preseason. You had the ACC champion be Tulane. They were plus 375 preseason. James Madison, Sun Belt champ. Also going to be a playoff team. They were plus 260 to win the Sun Belt preseason. And then your other one is Boise State minus 160 preseason to win the Mountain West Conference. So a little bit of mixture there. We saw a couple long shots like Duke, Indiana, Western Michigan. And then we saw a couple favorites like Georgia and Boise State and James Madison.
It is funny looking back at some of the preseason magazines saying, yeah, Indiana's year last year was a fluke. They're going to come back to earth this year. And how about they're going to get even better? What Signetti's done, I know Ohio State fans don't want to hear this. I don't even want to hear myself say it, but like, man, hats off to that guy. Hats off to him. And I was at Big Ten Media Day the previous summer, so summer of 2024, when he made the Google me comment. I was sitting right there, and then people around me, reporters, were like cackling, laughing. Like, who does this guy think he is? Does he not know he's at Indiana? It's like, well, how's he look now?
Speaking of Indiana, guys, this is going to be really interesting next Saturday night, watching Fernando Mendoza's Heisman acceptance speech.
God.
That guy, he's something, man. Like that post-game interview was strange.
That's a good word for it.
There was a lot of different ways I thought about going with it, and I just ended with strange.
That's better than the text that I got that I showed you. Yes, yeah. I think strange is much better. You know what's even better than that is this or that. That's coming up next on The Money.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
The meatloaf!
The Fan.
I love a good Hollywood casino party. Scotty Vegas here, and there are so many reasons to party on Sunday, December 7th with us. Watch the college football playoff bracket come out with us at noon. Watch the Browns, Bengals, and Steelers games all at 1 o'clock with us. Then parlay the great food, huge screens, and best big-time prizes at the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. You're watching. We're watching. Let's watch together. Sunday, December 7th at Hollywood Casino. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Columbus. It's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student-athlete. Football runs deep in my family. My dad played here, and now my brother and I are proud to carry on that tradition. At Monogram Homes, family matters too. They treat every homeowner like one of their own, building with care, precision, and pride. Monogram doesn't just build houses, they build homes, crafted just for you. So whether you're starting your first home or designing your dream space, Monogram Homes has got your back every step of the way. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in Columbus. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Looking for a bottle of the best blended whiskey in America? Well, look no further than High Bank Distillery Co. Their Whiskey War Barrel Proof won this prestigious title at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. That's the most prestigious spirits competition in the world. From their classic Whiskey War to Double Oak to my personal favorite, the Cigar Cask, there is something for everyone. Find a bottle near you and learn more at highbankdistillery.com. Drink the best, forget the rest.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark. Get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up, you get early payout on parlays too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
These savings are so good. Right now, get low lease payments on every model, like a new 2026 Elantra SE for just $119 a month for 24 months. Plus, get owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Go now. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus taxes, fees, first month payment, 12 miles per year, ends 1/2/26.
This is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we know life's busy. Let us handle your car care. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or have our technicians come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
It's Monday Night Football on The Fan. Catch the Eagles and Chargers live from L.A. Fan coverage starts Monday at 8.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at cloudy skies here for today with scattered light rain and snow showers making their way through. By tomorrow, we're tracking quieter conditions but colder temperatures, partly cloudy and highs into the upper 20s. By Tuesday, still looking fairly quiet, but our next system will arrive here for Tuesday night into Wednesday. That will bring rain showers and warmer temperatures with highs in the 40s on Wednesday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Some people golf on Sunday mornings. Some people place bets on the people playing golf on Sunday mornings. This is On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
So I got to say, the more and more I look at these projected brackets, which have Ohio State mostly as a 2 or a 3 seed, most of them say 2 seed, and some are saying 3 seed. I love the draw that Ohio State potentially is going to have. The teams to me that I was most nervous about being on Ohio State's side, Indiana, obviously, a Texas Tech team after watching them and their defensive line yesterday, Oregon, who I think is a sneaky good team and a sneaky dark horse team, and Notre Dame. Those were the 4 that I'm like, gosh, if you could avoid them, that would be good.
So this is why Ohio State intentionally lost last night? This is your point?
Maybe that's why they they did some of the dumb things that they did last night. They wanted that 2 or 3 seed instead of that side of death on the bracket. Actually, honestly, guys, I've been watching highlights during the commercial breaks of this young kicker, Jackson Corville from Ball State. I'm watching him kick a 52-yarder right down the middle there against Northern Illinois last year. He was a transfer from Ball State.
Right. He was really good at Ball State. Yeah, when they got him, Scotty, I immediately thought, well, he's going to be the guy. They're not bringing him here to redshirt. Boy, was I wrong. They brought him here to redshirt.
Yeah.
Now, I guess if they had they did had a competition in camp and Fielding won the competition, I can see what the coaches were thinking. Okay, we gave him a competition. Fielding barely beat him out, and now we get to redshirt Corville and keep him for 2 years. This is Fielding's last year, but man, I when he transferred from Ball State, I thought for sure he was going to be the starting kicker.
Well, I believe that Fielding can make kicks in a regular competition where there's not a ton of pressure on the line, but the pressure kicks a little dicey. What's not dicey is our this or that. So Isaiah, hit it.
All right, gents, we've talked a lot about it. We'll go around the horn. Are you getting with you'd prefer Ohio State as the 2 seed or the 3 seed?
Oh, well, I would love the idea of playing Ole Miss in the quarterfinal. I think Ohio State dominates Ole Miss. I think Ohio State, again, I think the side of either playing Ole Miss or A&M or Alabama, I wouldn't be afraid of any of the 3. So, the 2 to 3 doesn't matter that much, but I would take playing Ole Miss over playing A&M just by a little bit.
Yeah, it sounds like counterintuitive to say you'd rather have the 3 seed than the 2 seed.
Yeah.
But as we had a caller say, I mean, Ohio State and Ole Miss have never played, and Ole Miss is a very good team, but like I would rather play them than some of those other teams that Ohio State might play if they're the 2 seed. So yeah, I am getting with the 3 seed, Isaiah.
3. Pick number 3, my lord. Okay. Number 3.
Yeah.
Number 3. There's no question.
The other thing is, I also trust Mike Elko. I think Mike Elko is a very, very good coach at Texas A&M. And I'll be honest with you, off the top of my head, I don't even know who's coaching Ole Miss anymore. Like it's their defensive coordinator that's stepping up for Lane Kiffin leaving. I'd be surprised if Ole Miss would be able to put up a fight. So I do trust Mike Elko coaching, and so I give A&M a little bit of credit with that. But I'm not afraid of anyone on that side. All right, next question for me, this or that. You guys are buying into the fact that there was a true distraction this week, and that played into the loss for Ohio State yesterday against Indiana, the distractions of signing day and Brian Hartline.
Yeah, I'm getting with yes. And I said, I think if it was just one of those things, it sounds like spin doctoring, but you add all of that up. I mean, Ryan Day did have to take time out of his schedule to make sure he got Chris Henry Jr. and some of these other guys that were on the fence, Legend Bay. And then you had the Heartline situation that really came out of nowhere. They thought, okay, well, he interviewed for jobs, he didn't get them. Yeah, I don't think it was a huge factor. I give most of the credit to Indiana, and I give Ohio State a lot of blame, but I think that was at least part of the reason. So I'm getting with yes. It was, yeah.
Yeah, think about this week, guys, for Ohio State. First off, you have that huge emotional win last Saturday over Michigan. And then you have relatively difficult travel problems getting back to Columbus after that game.
It's true.
And then during the week, you have offensive coordinator Brian Hartline take another job. You've got this circus around the recruiting of Chris Henry Jr. And so, yes, that's a lot of distractions for a game week. Yeah, I do buy it.
I think so as well. I don't want to take away from Indiana, though, because I will say their defensive line surprised me at how well they got after Sayin. And so I do think it was a distraction for Ohio State, during this week. I think it was probably for everybody having signing day going on. But I don't think Ohio State has to make excuses. Like, Indiana played well. Their defense played great. I think there were reasons that, they came out on top. But at the end of the day, there was stuff going on this week that definitely were distractions. All right, for mine here, fellas, I've been thinking about this all morning, and this one, I think this would be more fun. I'm thinking about the playoff, and these are the two options I want to give you, because I think that if the playoff selection show was today and there hadn't been any rankings up to this point, if they hadn't unveiled anything, the committee has said nothing, we would be questioning everything. Is Ole Miss above Texas A&M without Lane Kiffin? Is Ohio State in the 2 seed? Are they 3? Where's Texas Tech come into this? So would you rather have the rankings no college football committee doing any rankings until today, or unveil them along the way? Because I think that they kind of pigeonhole themselves sometimes having Alabama where they have them now. Would Miami be above Alabama if last week there was no rankings?
I like the I know it's a circus, but I like the ranking show. We get 5 of them, and then we have today. I kind of like it. Yeah, I'm getting with it. Keep the circus on Tuesday nights.
I kind of like making fun of this committee all the time. It's such a goofy, it's a weird sport, right? The way that they are determining this playoff, and you have a weird committee, and they come on each week and they change week to week their criteria, and a lot of things don't make sense.
Sometimes they'll even change their commissioner week to week.
Yeah, no, I'm getting with. I kind of enjoy the show.
It is funny seeing them contradict themselves. 1 week it's oh yeah, Alabama, we think they're way better than Oklahoma. Actually, next week, you know what? They didn't play, but we think we're going to switch them. I do like that part of it too. Oh, there we go.
All right, you guys. Okay, so Tegra Shabola has now started. So he started all 16 games last year, and he started 13. So he started 29 straight games at right guard, but all year there's been an issue, right? It's there was one offensive lineman that got pulled out of games that was rotated out, and the other 4 never were. And then he played really well against Michigan, and then last night was back to bad Tegra. Okay, you getting with, I'm talking about starting. I'm not talking about rotating in. You getting with Tegra should be the starting right guard, or Gabe Van Sickle should be the starting right guard?
Gosh, it's a great question. It's been a mess, right, with Tegra at times, and he's taken a lot of blame. And last night was a disaster. I guess I would probably be in the camp of it's time for a little bit of a change.
Yeah, and Van Sickle reminds me a little bit. He's not as good as Saraveld was at this time last year, but he's a redshirt freshman like Saraveld was at this time last year. They're kind of the same body type, kind of the same recruit. They were this 3-star, and they really like Gabe Van Sickle. And I think it's time. And we've talked about this, and I agree with what Isaiah said. We've said this as well. You got to give Indiana a lot of credit. I think Ohio State only given up 6 sacks all year. They gave up 5 last night. So give Indiana's D-line credit. But it wasn't just last night. Tegra has been struggling all year, and I think it's time for Gabe Van Sickle to be the starter, Isaiah.
Yeah, I think so as well. Sometimes, especially going into the playoff, you just need to make that switch, and you don't want to get caught with this OSU team, how great they've been all season. You don't want to get caught with it too late. We don't want to be talking about this during a quarterfinal game that we lost because we didn't make the switch. I think sometimes you got to just make the change, which is hard to do, but this will be the time. 3 weeks off, go do it.
Okay, one more, guys. The Big Ten will have 3 teams in the top 5. So you'll have Indiana at 1, you'll have Ohio State at either 2 or 3, and you'll have Oregon at 5. Are you getting with 3 Big Ten teams make the semifinals this year?
3 Big Ten teams make the semifinals. So we're talking Oregon against Texas Tech in the quarterfinals. I'll say Texas Tech wins. I'll say no. We'll get 2.
Okay, I'm going to say no as well. I think that Indiana gets upset by Notre Dame.
I would lean no. If I was betting on it, I would lean no because I think both of those things are toss-ups to me. Like Indiana, Notre Dame 50-50, Oregon, Texas Tech 50-50. So for that reason, I would lean no.
All right, we're going to take a 2-minute timeout, and then we're going to do a little Scotty Doesn't Know. This is On the Money.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-345-2789. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-345-2789 or biglou.com.
Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a common seasonal virus, but it can have major implications on a patient's heart health. Most RSV cases involve mild cold-like symptoms, but up to 160,000 adults are hospitalized each year for more serious cases, and RSV can escalate chronic health issues. If you're over the age of 60, talk to your doctor to find out if the new RSV vaccine is right for you, and learn more at heart.org/RSV.
If you've recently seen a photo of an older Baker Mayfield fresh off a bender, it's just Bo Bishop. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. D. Biddle places over-unders on how many traffic lights he hits coming into the studio. This is On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
You know, Scotty, I really like this or that. It's probably my second favorite segment we do, right behind my favorite, which is Scotty Doesn't Know. Hit it, Isaiah. All right, we can't play you any more of that song without beeping out every other word. No, it's still one of the best cameos in cinema history. Matt Damon in Eurotrip. All right, this is a Big Ten championship game themed football, not basketball. Big Ten championship game themed Scotty Doesn't Know. This was a way better idea when I was doing this before the game yesterday. All right, first one. Scotty, what was the first year of the Big Ten championship game?
So I think it was 2012, which was Urban's first year, right?
Wrong.
Oh.
You're real close.
2011?
Yes.
Oh.
Ding. Okay. Indiana finally made it. That was their first time making the Big Ten championship game. They cashed that in pretty well. How many Big Ten teams have never made the Big Ten championship game? And can you name them?
Oh my gosh. All right. So I will go with, let's see. Boy, this is.
I think a lot of new teams. But
yeah, Maryland obviously hasn't. Yes. Rutgers hasn't.
Got it.
Purdue hasn't.
Got it. You're really close.
That's UCLA.
Right.
USC.
Correct.
Washington.
Correct. You're missing one. You're only missing one. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. Think Fish. Think Matt Fishman.
Illinois.
Got it.
Illinois has never. Okay.
Nice job. Nice
6,
job.
huh?
You did a good job there. All right.
It could throw people off that Northwestern's made a couple.
So right. And Ohio State played them both times. There have now been 15 Big Ten championship games. Have they all been played at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis?
Yes.
Correct. Tried to trick him there, Isaiah. You can't trick Scotty. You can sometimes trick Scotty. All right. What team has won the most Big Ten championship games?
Ohio State.
Yes, correct. Do you know how many?
Is it 4?
No.
3.
No.
5?
Correct. Correct.
Should have been 6.
Scotty doesn't know. All right. So can you name the years that they won now that you know it's 5?
Oh,
can you name the years? Okay. There was one that's you'll definitely remember.
I remember 2020, they beat Northwestern.
Okay. And I'm sure you remember.
I remember 59-0.
That was 2014. All right. So then you just got to fill in the blanks then. You got 3 more.
I think they won a couple in a row. Was it 2013 too?
No, that's when
2015.
No, that's when they lost to Michigan State in 2013, and then Michigan State knocked them out in 2015 of even making the Big Ten championship game.
Okay.
Damn Mark D'Antonio. We loved you
2019.
in 2002. It was 2017 through 2020.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so 2019 is a yes.
They won 4 straight.
2018.
Yes, but you in 2017.
2017.
There you go. All right. All right. Prior to last night, Ohio State was tied for the most Big Ten title game appearances with 6. Who was tied with them?
Okay. I think because they were in the Big Ten JV, Wisconsin got to a lot of Big Ten championship games. Give me Wisconsin.
Got it. Nice job. Okay. There was only one Big Ten team who has played in the Big Ten title game more than once who has an undefeated record. What team is that? What Big Ten team is undefeated? They've had to play in more than one game, so you can't say Indiana. What team has played in multiple Big Ten championship games and is undefeated?
Okay, so I know Michigan. I think Michigan's only played there once, right?
No, they played there 3 times. You're on the right.
Okay, it's Michigan.
Yeah, it's Michigan. I kind of want to hear
give
this.
me a Scotty doesn't know. I didn't want to guess.
Better than me singing.
I didn't want to guess anything good for Michigan, and
I know,
including all these idiots in our YouTube chat that are trying to rip on Ohio State right now.
If you're an Indiana fan in our YouTube chat, I get it.
That's fine.
I get it. If you're a Michigan fan in the YouTube chat, why aren't you making plans for the Citrus Bowl right now? What are you talking about? 27-9. Get out of here, 27-9, and let's put up the picture of Ohio State fans taking over Michigan Stadium. Okay, I'll move along here. Okay. Has a player from the losing team ever won the Big Ten championship game MVP?
No.
Incorrect.
Whoa. What, Trace McSorley or something?
It happened once. No, it wasn't Trace McSorley. It happened once. You're on the right track. It was a quarterback, and it's a quarterback that's still playing in the NFL right now, and it happened the first year of the Big Ten championship game.
Oh, was it Russell Wilson?
No.
No.
Play that funky music. There you go.
First year of the championship game, I think, was Wisconsin-Nebraska. And is that right?
No, it was Kirk Cousins.
Oh.
Kirk Cousins was the MVP in a 42-39 loss to Wisconsin in 2011.
Wasn't there a really ugly Wisconsin-Nebraska game that was really high scoring?
Scotty, what was the most points scored by a team in the Big Ten championship game?
I think it was that game, and I think Wisconsin won it.
Yes, Wisconsin scored 70 points in 2012 because Ohio State was ineligible. That was the year you were thinking. They beat Nebraska 70-31.
Wow.
That also is the most combined points in Big Ten championship games. 101 points. I think they hit the over.
Yeah, themselves.
No, the over was 101.5. The under got it. All right, you'll get this one. Largest margin of victory in a Big Ten championship game.
59 points?
Correct.
I kind of remember being in the stands that day. One of my favorite sporting events I've ever attended in my life was that Big Ten championship game.
Speaking of point spreads, Wisconsin was favored in that game by 4.5.
Yeah,
and Ohio State wins 59-0.
I remember.
It's just insane.
What's funny, Dave, is I still remember we took a little limo bus to the game from the hotel, and I remember placing a bet on Ohio State during that. And the question was with Cardale starting, I mean, how do you bet this game? And I took Ohio State plus the points.
Nice, man.
Still remember that bet.
Nice. All right. prior to last night, when is the last time the Big Ten title game featured number 1 versus number 2?
I don't think it ever did.
Good job. Okay. I tried to trick you. See, you can't trick Scotty most of the time. All right. What was the last number 1 versus number 2 game in the Big Ten period, including the regular season before last night?
1-2 regular season. I mean, the only thing that pops in my head is Ohio State, Michigan.
Nailed it. 06. Yep.
Really? That's the
Good
last
job.
1-2.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Trey Sermon set Ohio State's all-time single-season rushing record in Ohio State's win over Northwestern. The last time Ohio State played in the Big Ten title game previous to last night. Get me within 15 yards. I think that's reasonable. How many yards did Trey Sermon have?
I know it was over 300. I'm going to go like 310.
What did I say? He has to get 15. No, he didn't get it. It's 331.
Oh, no. Was Eddie's 314 against Illinois?
Whose record did Trey Sermon? Whose record did Trey Sermon break?
Eddie.
Correct. And how many yards did Eddie have?
314.
That's correct. Against who?
Illinois.
That's right. What year?
95.
Nailed it.
In the rain.
Bam.
Ohio Stadium.
That's senior day for Eddie, no less. And Trey Sermon had to go break his record. Okay, prior to that, who held Ohio State's rushing record? You don't have to give me the yards. Prior to Eddie George. So whose record did Eddie break?
In a single game?
Single game rushing record. You don't have to give me the yards.
Boy, there's so many.
This was the guy that when I was a little
Keith
kid.
Byers.
Yes. Keith Byers, 274 yards versus Illinois in 1984. Okay, so Keith Byers had 274 yards. He had the record. What was Ezekiel Elliott's most rushing yards in a game? I think Keith Byers.
I wasn't 264.
No. It's the exact same as Keith Byers, 274.
Oh.
But it happened in 2015, so, you know.
I actually thought you said 264.
274. Keith Byers against Illinois, and then Zeke Elliott, 274. Not the national championship year, the next year against Indiana in 2015. Okay, just a couple more here. Is there a chance next year's Big Ten title game will not be in Indy?
I know they've talked about Vegas, but I don't think that that's happening. I think it is back in Indy.
Correct. All right, last
Vegas
one.
would be fun.
Okay, so
we should do that.
Well, they did the media days there. A lot of my cohorts were not happy about that because Vegas in July is not the best time to go to Vegas. And it was really like, we like it in Indy because it's so easy getting over there. But like, I like the idea of Vegas, but not for media days. For the championship game, that makes a lot more sense. Going there in December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say that the Big Ten basketball tournament is looking at being in Indy or being in Vegas as well.
I'm sure.
That'd be great.
I bet they'll do something in LA at some point too. You'd have to think.
Yeah. Less exciting.
Less exciting, definitely. All right. Now, you're right. They did sign an extension. Last one. Do you know how long the Big Ten title game at least is going to be in Indy? Like they signed an extension. Do you know how long that extension is? It kicks in next year.
4 years.
Close. No.
5 years.
No.
3 years.
Got it.
Yes.
Give me the slider there.
Yes.
The Manuel Classe in the dirt slider. All right, that was a good Scotty doesn't know. So speaking of prop bets, they've pretty much, they haven't gotten rid of them for like the stuff like the Guardians pitchers got in trouble for, but they've made it where you can't use them in parlays and you only can bet $200.
You know what? I was thinking about this. Speaking of corruption. Since you brought up Class A. If you were a member or you knew somebody on the college football playoff committee and you know who's going to be in that playoff, there are odds out there on who's going to make it. What prevents, like we talk about corruption in sports betting, what prevents uncle, an uncle who's on the committee passing along to a nephew, oh yeah, we're putting Miami in, get that plus 155.
Well, now you know why I keep looking at my phone, hoping my uncle calls.
Your uncle's on the committee?
Yeah.
Your third uncle?
My third uncle. That's right. Urban Meyer, the third uncles. Seriously. I mean, that's a great point. I mean, like, you'd hope it wouldn't happen. You'd also would hope that, like, NBA guys aren't, involved with schemes. Jonte Porter, we all thought this might be possible. The Jonte Porter, it's now out there that he owed hundreds of thousands of dollars in gambling debts to gangsters, to members of the five families. I think it was specifically, God, I don't know if it was Genovese. It was one of the five families. Not good. It's not good to owe money to anybody. You definitely don't want to owe money to mobsters. Ooh.
By the way, I just pulled up those odds on to make the college football playoff, and they've held steady this morning so far, guys. Notre Dame minus 1,000 to make the playoffs. Alabama minus 280. Miami is plus 145.
And we're going to have the watch party at Hollywood Casino, the sports book there. It's going to be at noon. Scotty and I are going to be out there. Come join us. We're going to have a watch party. You can win free prizes, mini helmets, dining credits. Again, it's free. Come out there, hang out, watch the watch party, see if the Buckeyes are the number 2 seed, number 3 seed, and what their draw looks like. We're going to get into more of that next right here on The Money.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in Columbus. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
ECO. Every kid deserves new toys at Christmas. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Get Eco. ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians donate thousands of dollars to Toys for Tots each year. And this year will be our biggest donation ever.
Are you willing to buy a new toy for a little kid this Christmas?
Every Eco location in Ohio is officially a Toys for Tots drop-off location.
And every Eco plumber, electrician, and HVAC technician will be delighted to transport any new unwrapped toys that you would like to donate to Toys for Tots.
Buy a toy for a kid this Christmas?
Or a bunch of new toys.
And give them to any Eco technician you happen to see.
To drop off a new unwrapped toy at the Eco location nearest you, just go to geteco.com for our street address.
Get Eco. ECO. Generous plumbers, Merry Christmas electricians, and buy a kid a new toy this year, HVAC technicians.
Geteco.com.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $150 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$150 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
'Tis the season to not feel groggy. I know that's not how the song goes, but it's how the rush of the holidays can make us feel. Eric Reeser here and my friends at Hydrate Me Med Spa have the goods to keep you looking and feeling your best as the year comes to an end. 4 convenient locations in Central Ohio offering medical-grade IV and aesthetic treatments. If you're like me and get a little queasy at the thought of an IV, not a big needle person, I get it. But their staff of incredible certified nurse practitioners makes the process easy. Get your body ready for a successful holiday season by booking your drip today at hydratememedspa.com.
Central Ohio's largest selection of lush, live, and cut Christmas trees.
Oakland Nursery.
New holiday accents, personable gifts, seasonal treasures, and delectable foods at our 2 specialty stores.
Oakland Nursery.
Live greenery, wreaths, pine roping, and poinsettias at all 4 garden centers.
Oakland Nursery.
25% weekly savings on select holiday items.
Oakland Nursery.
35 acres of crisp outdoor shopping and a Christmas tradition since 1940.
Oakland Nursery.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At CARE, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. CARE Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
All month long at Twin Peaks, celebrate National Dessert Month with sweet endings like our Cinnamon Toast Crunch Cheesecake topped with rum chata sauce, or the Twin Peaks Sundae with a warm Ghirardelli brownie. Pair it with a Screwball peanut butter whiskey for the ultimate game day finish. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
It's playoff time. Who will the Buckeyes play? Where will they play? Let's find out together. Join Dom Taberi, Timmy Hall, Nicole Sheeran, and Dane Sanzenbacher for Chasing the Championship.
Sunday at noon on 10 TV Plus and the Fans YouTube.
Enjoy all the football this weekend, but remember to join us for Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Scotty Vegas places so many bets, he can't even remember which teams he's rooting for. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
I know it's a bit of a crappy morning after a loss last night, but let's look forward now. We're going to get that bracket in just over an hour. We're going to throw a little party at Hollywood Casino, and the Fan and 10 TV Plus are going to have a special digital special that's going to feature Dane Sanzenbacher, Tim Hall, Nicole Sheeran, Dom Taberi, so you can catch that out on 10 Plus and on the YouTube fan page. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to find out this bracket, and I feel really good about it. And this is generally the segment where we do our best bets. I'll tell you what, now that Ohio State is plus 225 to win it all, I think the value is good on that. I think Ohio State, before yesterday, they were plus 160 to win it all. Now you're getting them, in my mind, on an easier side of the bracket, and you're getting now plus 225. I think that's a pretty good bet right there. I did want to mention the Heisman Trophy. That's going to go to Fernando Mendoza. The odds are minus 3,500 that Mendoza wins it. Diego Pavia is now 10-1. Preseason odds. I always find it fun when we end a season to go back and look at where things were before the season started. And before the season started, we have Fernando Mendoza. I'm pulling it up right now. Fernando Mendoza was 35-1 preseason to win the Heisman Trophy. The guy who's going to probably finish runner-up is Diego Pavia, and he was 150-1. And Julian Sand most likely going to be in New York. He was 22-1 before the season started. But what's funny, Dave, is the three guys that were the favorite. Arch Manning was the absolute favorite preseason to win the Heisman. He was 6-1. Cade Klubnik, he was 9-1. Garrett Nussmeier, he was 9-1. Those three guys, not even close.
It's funny looking like coming into the year, the quarterbacks that were getting like all the loves, like Arch Manning, like Carson Beck. Who am I leaving out here?
Drew Aller.
Oh, yes. That's,
Lenora
yes.
Sellers.
Yeah. That's another. You're right.
Lagway from Florida.
Yep. And there was no like Julian Sand. There was no Mendoza. There was no Dante Moore. There was no Diego Pavia. None of those guys.
No.
Like, it was like, it wasn't even like they got one right. Like all the quarterbacks were hyped, and they were also hyped as like first round picks too.
Yeah.
Like number 1 overall pick, Arch Manning. Like, no.
Actually, you know what? I was wrong on the Mendoza preseason numbers. He was actually 60-1 preseason. I grabbed him during that Illinois game where Illinois just got destroyed by Indiana. I grabbed Mendoza at 30-1. So I'm going to cash a nice little 30-1 ticket next Saturday night. I'm looking forward to that.
Look at you, man. That's a nice one. You did it during the Illinois game.
Yeah, second half. Nice. It was third quarter. They were just pouring it on. I'm like, gosh, you know what? Might as well get a little bit on Mendoza and grab a little $100 to win 3,100. So hopefully going to cash that next Saturday.
I remember talking about that game that week, Indiana, Illinois, and we were thinking like, man, okay, the line keeps going up. Like it was already like Indiana was favored by, I want to say like 5.5 initially, and it kept ticking up. And we were like, that's weird. Okay. Gonna stay away from that one then.
Yeah, right.
And then Indiana ended up winning by like 60 or something like that. Yeah, give credit to Indiana. And Ohio State, if they would have won last night, yeah, is this spin doctoring? Maybe. This is exactly how I feel, though. I mean, they still would have needed to win 3 more games. Perhaps we'll find out, here in a little more than an hour. Perhaps it's a better draw being the number 2 or the number 3 as opposed to being the number 1. So, maybe this is what they needed. And if they're able to be the only team to go back-to-back in Ohio State history, and they would also beat Michigan this year, it'll be a blip on the radar.
Yes.
Last night will be a blip on the radar. But they got a long way to go. But I do think, they're the betting favorite for a reason. Even after last night, they're the betting favorite, as you just articulated. So, again, I would take the field over Ohio State if you made me bet. But, I think Ohio State, as you said, the value is there. I still think they're the best team.
Plus 225. Dave, looking at the field here, you got Indiana plus 275, Georgia 6-1, Notre Dame plus 850, Texas Tech 9-1. One thing that you notice in Oregon 10-1. One thing you notice, at least how we project out how this bracket's going to look. Indiana's on the other side; they're number 2 in the rankings as far as chances to win the national championship. Notre Dame has the 4th best odds. They'll be on the other side of the bracket. Texas Tech has the 5th best odds to win it all. They'll be on the other side of the bracket. Oregon has the 6th best odds. They'll be on the other side of the bracket. So really, there's no question about it. Looking at the odds, that's the better side of the bracket to be on.
Yeah, until you get to the semifinals, right?
And you play Georgia.
Right. I would much rather play
Georgia.
I'd rather play Texas Tech than Georgia. And I'm a Texas Tech believer. I think they're good. I would pick Georgia over Texas Tech. So, therefore, I would rather play Texas Tech if I'm Ohio State than Georgia. But I think Texas Tech's really good.
Yeah. And you and I both agree that we think that Alabama will be the last team, the last at-large team in. They'll get that 10 seed, and Miami will be shut out. However, we also both agree that we think Miami probably deserves to be in over Alabama, correct?
It's interesting because Miami didn't have any quality wins.
Well, Notre Dame.
We thought they. Other than that, you're right. But people thought Louisville was a quality win. Not anymore. It's not. SMU or no losses.
They lost. Yeah,
I'm talking about their losses. Their 2 losses are bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I lost my train of thought there. Their 2 losses looked at the time not bad, right? Louisville, ranked team, not a bad loss.
Yeah.
SMU, ranked team, not a bad loss. Neither one of those teams are ranked.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Miami's resume is not that great. The Notre Dame win is very good, but they beat them by 3 at Miami. So the committee's probably looking at that. Yeah, they beat them head-to-head, but you get 3 points for home field advantage.
I know we've had a rough morning. A Sunday after a Buckeye loss is always rough. However, we need to acknowledge the Ohio State men's basketball team with a big road Big Ten win yesterday over Northwestern. They were a 3-point underdog, and they pull off the upset.
Undefeated in the Big Ten.
There we go.
Ohio State basketball. That
Bounce back.
Man, Brandon Knoll, I don't think he ever had that good of a game at Wright State.
Gosh, he was unbelievable.
You think he's better than Tanner Holden?
Yes, I do.
People are probably we're getting another transfer from Wright State. What is this? Yeah, Brandon Knoll's good. All right, that is our show for today. Thank you very much for joining us. For Scotty Vegas and Isaiah Jacob, I am Dave Biddle. Come join us at the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino for our watch party for the College Football Playoff Selection Show. Up next on the fan is pregame coverage of the Cleveland Browns and the Tennessee Titans. This has been On the Money.
The 2 most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants.
The pervert and the skivvies.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at